So today we are going to do some Am I the A-hole situations, and we will be the judge. But before we get into it, you know the drill, you know the deal. We gotta do some channel maintenance, some channel hygiene. So if you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back. Oh geez, if you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. If you're old here, go double check, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like. If you like, leave a comment. It could be anything related to the video. It could just be a hello, a few emojis, whatever, as long as it's cool and respectful. Hit the notification bell. As always, I have linked my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every $1 or $2 helps. That is what allows me to continue to make content. Also, you are invited to my Patreon. I know not everybody can come, but you can't say you aren't invited. The link to my Patreon is down below, and I post a lot over there. If you want extra content, but you don't want to leave the platform, you can click to join channel memberships below, or go to my channel page and click join. That is content that is exclusive to YouTube members. All right. Oh, that is delightful. Alright, let's pop out a piece of the Act gum. And get into it. I have not read these. I have not pre-screened these, for better or for worse. Am I the a-hole for not letting a mom and her daughter cut in line at the ice cream shop? So this happened yesterday, and I'm still feeling kind of weird about it. I, 23 female, was in line at this super popular ice cream shop. Like the kind that always has a long line and cute Instagram-worthy cones. It was a hot day, weekend afternoon, and I'd already been waiting like 20 minutes. I was maybe 5th from the front. Finally almost there. Then this mom with a little girl, maybe 5-ish, walks up next to me and goes, "Would you mind if we jumped ahead real quick?" She's really hot and just wants some ice cream. Ice cream is a nice treat. There's nothing urgent about ice cream. This little girl was adorable, sure, but also we're all hot. We all want ice cream. I kind of awkwardly smiled and said, "Sorry, I've been waiting too," and turned back around. The mom didn't say anything but this big passive-aggressive sigh, and I had said to her daughter loud enough for me to hear, "Some people just don't have empathy. Like yourself, ma'am." Like what? I wasn't rude. I just didn't want to let someone skip after I'd already stood there melting for 20 minutes. And yes, I get that kids can be impatient and uncomfortable, but does that mean they just get to bypass everyone? No, there's no fast pass. Some people around me had this weird look like I was the villain, and now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for not letting them cut in line even though it was just a mom and her little girl? No. I'm a mom of a little boy. I've been a mom of 3 kids, like 3 little kids before. At once. When my big ones were little, and it never crossed my mind to ask somebody to cut in line or to ask somebody to put away my grocery cart. Any of that. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Not the a-hole part of parenthood is to make sure kids are ready for the real was just an employee. I said, ma'am, I understand why you might think that, but if I let you ahead of me, I'd have to let the lady behind you ahead of me, and then the lady behind her, and the lady behind her, and so on, and then I'd never get to use the restroom, and I'd be standing here for the rest of the day, so respectfully, meow. I would have said, and some people don't know how to be patient or a good role model for their kid, but here we are. Here we go, not the a-hole. I have a feeling the mom uses her daughter as an excuse to cut in line often. The people around you giving you the stink eye would probably have also not given up their spot in line. Yeah, you can't please. You can't. They would have given you a dirty look if you did it, and they would have given you a dirty look if you didn't. They just suffer from the human condition. Okay. Am I the a-hole for locking the office fridge after someone kept stealing my lunch? You locked the whole office fridge? Off the top, I'm gonna say it sounds like a-hole, but sometimes once you read it, you're like, oh, never mind, they're not. I, 34 male, work in a small office with about 10 people. We share a communal kitchen, including one fridge. Over the past month, my lunch has been stolen 5 times. Not just random snacks, entire homemade meals I bring from home gone without a trace. It's not just frustrating, it's expensive and it messes up my day. I mentioned it a couple times in the group chat, like, hey, someone's been taking my lunches, please stop. What type of individual just goes and grabs food from some unknown person, like, that you don't even know their kitchen, like, everyone either ignored it or sent a vague message like, oh, that sucks, or some people are the worst, but no one took responsibility. Of course not. The type of person that does that is not the type of person that's going to take responsibility. So I bought a mini fridge, and put it under the desk. Nothing fancy, just enough to hold my meal and a drink. I also put a little lock on it for extra peace of mind, since then no one has stolen my lunches. Last Friday, one of the coworkers says, I'll call her Dana, a 29 female, confronted me during lunch and said it was weird and selfish that I had a personal fridge. She said it made me look paranoid and like I'm not part of the team. Is Dana the thief, or is Dana just some other kind of weirdo? She said I should have just brought stuff I wouldn't care about losing. No, I care about all of it. Have you met grocery prices these days? Like snacks or microwavable meals. If I was so worried. A couple of others now made little comments like, don't let him see your lunch, he might lock it up, or we get it, you're special. I'm starting to feel like the weirdo in the office just for protecting my stuff. Am I the a-hole? No, you work with a bunch of a-holes. Not the a-hole. It sounds like Dana is hangry now that she doesn't have any more free lunches. The person who is not part of the team is the one who's been stealing lunches. You're not paranoid. There's actually a thief in the mix, and that's a fact. You just took care of the problem is all. Everyone who has a comment can suck it. It's not paranoia if it's true. Dana, like, he's not just going to grab his lunch and thinking somebody put poison on it. His lunch is gone. Many times. It's not paranoia if it's true. Dana told on herself by confronting OP, guaranteed no one else cared about the fridge. OP brought their own money. But with their own money. Dana should be ashamed of herself. Maybe if other people had their lunches stolen, eventually they will. Give it a couple months. They'll probably have their lunches stolen now that OP has a locking fridge, and then you can narrow it down. True, you're not part of the team. Or Dana could fake like her lunch got stolen next, so we'll probably never know. Okay. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad I didn't like his new wife? Now this is a 17 female. So I have 2 sisters, Gabby, 24 female, and Emily, 27 female. Our mother passed away 8 years ago, and my dad, 54 male, finally decided he wanted to remarry. Fair enough. He met a woman, 46 female, on a dating app. I won't say her name. They met up and got to know each other probably 7 months ago, and 2 months ago my dad proposed to her. Obviously, me and my sisters thought he was rushing things and told him that they sisters thought he was really happy and finally came to terms. We were really engaged, and soon the wedding would happen. Wedding day came, and they had their honeymoon. It was all good until the new wife started acting like a total biatch. Maybe. Let's see. So basically, after their honeymoon, she started living with me and my dad, obviously, since my sisters moved out of the house, and my dad's wife would always boss me around and tell me what to do, like go clean the dishes or go clean the living room. These are basic things that need to be done, and I don't really mind doing them, but not when they're every 2 freaking hours. She would find something for me to do. Okay? Fair enough. Like, give me a list of what you want me to take care of this week. Or even today, like a couple things. But don't come find me every 2 hours. Why are you home every 2 hours, though? Well, I guess it is summertime. Go get a job. For example, she literally told me to go clean out her closet and fold her clothes. Oh, no. I said no, because why the hell am I doing that? She started complaining and saying that I have no respect for her when all day I do chores that she should have been doing instead. No, you both and the dad should be doing that. You are 17. This should be split 3 ways now. But tell me why she literally told me to clean out the fridge and clean it. Excuse me, why am I doing that? Like, no thanks, I'm not doing that. And that's a reasonable chore, but not if it's thrown on top of a bunch of other BS throughout the day. Like, I told my sisters about that as well, and they said they'll talk to her. So Gabby came and confronted her, and she decided to cry to my dad as if he would take her side, which he did. Anyway, he took her side and started yelling at me and my sister and said that we weren't making her feel welcome, even though all we've been doing is being nice to her for some business saying that. I'm not even a big girl in any sense. I have fat on my body, but I'm definitely not fat. My sister was surprised and said she would talk to her. A few days later, she had Gabby come over to apologize. From my point of view, it was not sincere. She was rolling her eyes and looked angry and got out the words. I told her thank you and for apologizing and then told them to leave. I have not gone out of my way to spend time with her since. Yeah, maybe I'll need a little break until she's 22. 24. I had told Gabby that I would take her shopping for the summer and we'd pick out fun stuff together. I look forward to doing things with her, not really anymore. When we were at my mom's house for Mother's Day, Gabby asked me when we would go. After her stunt, I've changed my mind. I said she probably has plenty of summer clothes to wear. She was upset. She said, but I said I was sorry. Over and over. I told her that I know she said she was sorry, but it just because someone says they're sorry to you doesn't mean that your actions are forgiven. You have to prove to the other person that you won't do it again, and she hasn't. My mom and sister say I'm expecting adult behavior from a child. She's not a small child. These are crucial. These are crucial moments. I'm apparently beefing with a child at my big age. Oh, be the bigger person, be the bigger person. I will. By setting a boundary, and hopefully one day when her niece acts this way, she'll respect herself enough to do the same. They asked how long I'm going to hold it against her. I don't really know how to take this. I trust their judgment most of the time, but this was just an outright mean thing from her. I'm worried that if she grows up, this behavior will continue and she'll turn into a bully. Am I the a-hole? There was some kind of like Facebook post. How many kids should somebody have to be happy or something? Like, what is the happy spot of a number of kids to have? Which is a stupid question because that would be different for everybody. It could be 0. And it could be 4 or 5 or something. And somebody in the comments hit the damn nail on the head and said borrow a couple teenagers for a couple weeks and see if you want kids. See if you want kids. And then some lady on there said I have 17 and I'm really happy. Yeah, are the older kids really happy? I think 13 is old enough to understand right from wrong, and this will be a good life lesson for your niece. She can learn that her words and actions have consequences. She doesn't regret what she said, she just regrets that she ruined her shopping spree. Amen. Exactly. I said I was sorry is what every bully says when they get called out. Spoiler, they're not sorry, they're sorry they got called out. Not for the actual offense. Mean girls suck, and they'll see consequences of being a stinker if they keep it up. Yeah, she's gonna be the mom that says, can we cut in line because my kid's cute? I tell my kid all the time that when you say I'm sorry, you really mean shut up and give me what I want. Honestly. It's not an apology. Change behavior is better than empty words. A 13-year-old is old enough to understand empathy and accountability. I tell mine that you can say sorry till hell freezes over, but if you keep doing what you're sorry for, you don't mean it and accept it. These are, like, you can say you're expecting adult behavior from her, but like, yeah, I'm trying to put in adult out into the world, and these are the kind of spouses and the kind of friends that do awful stuff. Like, well, I said I was sorry. What do you want me to do about it?